What's going on, all of you fantastic freelancers? My name is William, and Anthem is a few days away for a few of us and a little over a week away for the rest of you. So I figured now would be as good a time as ever to discuss whether or not you should pre-order Anthem. Full disclosure, this video is not leaning towards either side, those being to pre-order Anthem or not to pre-order and wait. This video is just the hard facts and the type of video that I would personally want were I not a content creator. If you feel like pre-ordering, we will give you a quick breakdown of where to pre-order the game so you can get the most bang for your buck or the most exclusive stuff. I'll also be leaving my own thoughts and opinions out of this video and more towards the end, so there isn't any biases in the video. As I stated before, Anthem is coming very soon. It's BioWare's newest IP, with EA publishing the game. Now, for many, that first part sounded really good. But for others, the second part makes you wince a bit, or a lot. At the time of this video's release, I haven't finished my research video into how much of an influence EA has had on Anthem, and spoiler alert, it's next to nothing. But if you are considering not buying Anthem outright because of EA, they are next to a non-factor. The role of a publisher is to fund the development of a game, and should they receive enough of a return on their investment within a reasonable amount of time, they will continue to fund the game further. Some publishers, like Activision, do take a role in the development of their games, but given the recent issues EA has been having, they've given BioWare full control over Anthem with little to no oversight, which was a relief to learn. If you need further proof of EA's new hands-off approach to games they publish, just take a look at Apex. Respawn said, hey, this is how we want to do it, and EA said, okay, and let them do it, and ta-da! It's a game that everyone loves. Anthem is in a similar situation with BioWare and EA's relationship as publisher and developer. Again, that video will be releasing soon, and if it has released by the time you are watching this video, a card will appear above. Next up on our list that kinda goes hand in hand with the mistrust with EA is microtransactions. Now, we have known since 2017-2018 that Anthem will in fact have microtransactions, but it will be not random rolled or loot box transactions. If you purchase something in Anthem, you will know what you are getting from the start, and it's cosmetic only, not paying for power. Not to mention you can earn all of it through regular gameplay and progression, with some items such as vinyls being earned by completing challenges that can't be purchased. A very real concern though has been how egregious these microtransactions will be, and if EA had a hand in them. Believe it or not, from what I have been told, BioWare were the ones to introduce microtransactions to Anthem, not EA. Anthem is known as a live service game, and will not be charging you a penny for their DLC and content updates over the course of the next 10 years. However, it's not like they've developed enough content over the last 6 years to do so. BioWare will be continuing to pump out updates over the next 10 years, but development and production costs money. So how are they going to be getting said money without making us pay for the DLCs or content expansions? Simple. It's the in-game store's microtransactions. With Gamasutra's interview with Mike Gamble, a link to this interview will be in the description below, he states that BioWare, quote, is hoping to attract as many people as possible, make the game pool as wide as possible, to support the game as long as possible. So even if we don't have lots of people spending lots of money, we're hoping the economy is such that we will have a number of people who can support the game. Gamble adds that, quote, having whales is great, but we don't cater towards any particular group. Some people have more time than others. Some people have less time than others. And that's where we leave it. Anthem isn't depending on people spending ungodly amounts of money in the in-game store. And while having those who do spend that kind of money in the game is awesome, it's unnecessary for their long-term plans. However, there is another part to this, which will be my last part we discuss on microtransactions before moving on. Silicosta, one of Anthem's producers and a phenomenal guy, has stated on several occasions that microtransaction scaling and the system will be fair. The basic principle is how much time you are willing to spend grinding enough coin for this one cosmetic, and if the amount of time that you would be spending grinding for it is valued at greater or less than if you just flat out purchased it. Which, once again, the team is working on it, and has been working on it to make it as fair as possible. Ultimately, this shouldn't be affecting your purchasing decision. It would be one thing if you were paying for power, but all of this is vanity, all of which you can earn through regular progression. Next up, we have Anthem's performance as a game, and by that I mean, is it still as buggy, or will it be as buggy at launch as what we experienced during the VIP demo and somewhat in the open demo? Given the team has been working their tails off since it happened, especially on a build that was outdated by nearly 7 weeks, I think we will be fine for launch. And speaking from my own personal experience on a build that was much more recent than the demos, Anthem is going to be fine at launch. Will there be bugs? Yes. Will there be significantly less than what we experienced in the demos? The safe bet is yes, but expect something. Will there be a day one patch? Yes. That's just how online games work these days. They've also made several improvements to flight, visibility underwater, getting stuck and respawning, tracking your squad mates, and more. Most of which were my biggest complaints about the demo build. Will there be enough story? As many of you know, BioWare is renowned for their narrative adventures, and Anthem is unique as it has to marry BioWare's legendary storytelling with the looter-shooter genre. One of the questions I get asked the most these days, aside from if they should pre-order the game, is if Anthem will have enough of that story, or will it be like other looter-shooters that have come before it, and have a sneeze of it and wait until future updates and DLC to fill in the rest. According to Mike Gamble on Twitter, Anthem will feature a full main story at launch, with amazing cutscenes and performances, and even after the main story is done, there will still be characters and other stories to enjoy through Fort Tarsis. He also emphasizes that there will be a ton of content in Anthem, and that's all before we hit the endgame, which has equally as much content. While I'm not sure how long the endgame actually is, and until I actually play it and give you all my runtime, it seems kind of moot to speculate. And for our last part of this video you should take into consideration before you consider pre-ordering is if there will be enough content at launch, have it be challenging, and how the endgame will fare. I'll leave a card here where you can check out our most recent video we did on Anthem's endgame. But in short, Anthem definitely has enough content to keep players occupied, and enough variety at that where the grind won't feel samey for a while. At least no more than any other looter shooter, and probably better than most looter shooters. Especially with the Anthem of Creation changing the world around us regularly. Not to mention the difficulty and enemy challenge won't be an issue as you can climb the Grandmaster ranks. And again, I would just check out that video if you are still concerned about the endgame. If Anthem is sounding pretty good to you, or if you are ready to pre-order, here is some information that might be of great benefit to you. I've stated a fair bit of this information in previous videos, but there have been some changes since then, and some new exclusives announced from certain retailers since then. As it currently stands, there are two editions of the game. The regular game, which will run you $60 USD, and the Legion of Dawn edition, which will run you $80 USD. It is also worth mentioning that right off the bat that pre-ordering does come with a few universal exclusives for both versions. These include the Founder Player Banner and the Ranger Legion of Dawn Legendary Armor Pack and Weapon. However, the Legion of Dawn edition does come with quite a few more exclusives, as you can see in the Legion of Dawn edition's trailer. In summary, the LOD edition includes all of the aforementioned exclusives and the Ranger Javelin Exosuit Legendary Gear Attachment, Colossus, Storm, and Interceptor Legendary Legion of Dawn Armor Pack, and the full digital soundtrack by the brilliant Sarah Schachner. Now, while Anthem only has two editions, if you really think about it, there is a third edition. I made a previous video discussing Anthem's Collector's Edition, which I will leave a card to if you are interested. Now, before anyone goes into a frenzy over the Legion of Dawn Edition Special Ranger Legendary Gear Attachment, keep in mind that you will definitely outgrow it within a few hours of gameplay and will undoubtedly find something better to equip to your Ranger in no time. In other words, just like everything else in Anthem, you aren't paying for power, or pre-ordering for power as it stands. As far as where you can get the best deal on pre-ordering or purchasing Anthem, for PC players, if you have Origin Premier, not only can you pre-order the game and get a 10% discount, but you can also start playing on the 14th, a week before everyone else does, unrestricted. Now, if you don't have Origin Premier, you can still pre-order it from anywhere else that sells PC keys, but I'd strongly recommend the previous option if you are dying to get your hands on Anthem. For Xbox players, if you have EA Access, similar to PC players, you will get a 10% discount, and starting on the 14th, you will be able to play the game early, but it will be restricted to 10 hours before the full release on the 22nd. If you decide to go down this path, I'd encourage you to play an hour or two a day and just enjoy the game, as opposed to just running through that 10 hours on the first day, or you could wait until the 20th and play for 5 hours a day until release. For PlayStation players, I'm sorry, but the best that you all can do is to start playing the game on the 22nd, as there are no EA deals for your consoles. BioWare has stated on several occasions that this is all because of Sony and not because EA hates PlayStation. As far as stores go, GameStop is currently the only one that I know of giving a bonus should you order from them. If you do end up pre-ordering from GameStop, you will be given the Edge of Resolve vinyl. To claim it for online customers, your code will be emailed within 2 days after your order ships, and if you pick it up in stores, the code will be printed on your receipt at the time of pickup. Now, for my honest opinions on pre-ordering or not, and were I not a content creator covering Anthem, here's my thought process. The game looks great, and it is from BioWare. The demo was rough, but it was also fun, and we were assured that most of the bugs would be fixed at launch. Despite there being microtransactions, they are only cosmetic, and can be earned through regular progression at a fair pace. No paying for power whatsoever, and if I do decide to spend the money, it will at least go towards development. Will I have my expectations managed? Sure, but I am a fan of looter shooters, and this looks very entertaining at the very least. If you are still on the fence about Anthem, let me reassure you that it is okay and perfectly normal. I'm not telling you to pre-order or buy it day one. Wait for reviews and actual full gameplay. See what the game has to offer and then purchase. I'll be making videos daily when the game releases for me on Thursday, spoiler free. And if I do release any spoiler-esque content, I will be sure to put spoilers in the title for the first week, and once the game releases, I will change the title and the thumbnail. But what is going through your minds right now? Have you already pre-ordered Anthem, or are you still holding off? Either way is fine, but let me know your reasoning in the comments section below. And if you enjoyed this video and want to stay informed on all things Anthem from now until launch and beyond, then be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on one of our videos. A special and monumental thank you as always to my patrons for their generous donations and support of the channel. Your support goes a long way to helping us maintain and enhance the quality of the content we produce here, and for that, I am forever humbled and grateful to you all. I hope all of you fantastic freelancers have a phenomenal day as always, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next video very soon. And remember, we are strong alone, but we are stronger together.